We let a user edit a reference. Now let's let them delete one. I'm going to click on this icon, right click, and choose to wrap the widget in a row. Now we have the row that the icon is in. Click back on the icon. You can remove some of its padding. Add it to the row itself. And make the elements right aligned. I'm also going to go ahead and add in 4 pixels of gap spacing. Into this row, I'm going to add another icon. This icon is going to be in the top right as well, right next to it. It's going to be this delete trash can. And it can be our green color as well. I'm actually going to click back on the row and make the padding over here maybe 4. Padding up here 8. Okay, better. I encourage you to add it down here, but just for the sake of time, we're only going to use something up here. I'm going to click on this delete icon and add an action. Now, if you go to backend/database and Firestore, we used create a document, we used update a document, we've used query collection. What we're going to do now is delete a document. And we just want to delete this popular recipe item. And we can click on their user reference and just click confirm. And that's pretty much it. I'm going to go to create, and I'm just going to create a random recipe. And I see it right here. I'm then going to just click on this, and we see it disappear. And that's pretty much all there is to it. You can go ahead and go on to the next video, but I'm also going to show you one more thing, because a user could easily accidentally click on the delete button, and we really wouldn't want that. What we want to do is just add in one extra check to make sure that that doesn't happen. What we want is a little bottom sheet to come up over here just saying, are you sure you want to delete, and have a cancel button in case they hit it by accident. The way we do this is by going up here as if we were going to add in a new page and instead choosing new component. You can use this, which is built in, but I'm just going to create blank so we can see it. And I'm just going to call it delete and then create the component. You can resize it as you see fit. I'm going to start by adding in a container. I'm going to let this stretch the entire way. This will stretch to any length, so any page length. And we can change its height later. For now, it can just be 100. Inside this, I'm going to drag in a column, and all this needs is 2 buttons. I'm just going to go to my create page so I can copy over the button because that design is already nice. And I'm just going to paste 2 in. I'm going to go back to my container, give it infinite height. I'm going to go in the column, let it contract, and then give 8 pixels of spacing in between the 2. Click on both of these buttons. And just remove all of the conditionals, everything from it. Gonna go back on the column, let's add 16 pixels of spacing all around. And all we need is for one of them to say delete and the other one to say cancel. I'm going to make this fill color just our white, and then give it a border of our primary color for, say, 2 pixels. And I'm just going to make the text our primary color. Go back here, the fill color can actually be the secondary background. Perfect, that's all I need. And now we have this bottom sheet. All we need are some actions. First, we want to show this when this delete button is clicked. So instead of deleting a document, all we want to do is show a bottom sheet. And this is going to be our delete bottom sheet. You can edit things like background color, barrier color, all of this. I'm just going to leave it like so, and we can test it out. Here, when I try to click delete, instead of deleting directly, it gives me this bottom sheet. And then I'm prompted with this. Let's go back to our bottom sheet. And instead of height of informal, I'm going to give it height of 150. We can also go ahead and add actions. So we already know how to add in the delete action, so I'm going to add it to this delete button. Back in database, Firestore, delete document. But we don't know which document to delete. This is where parameters come in yet again. On this itself, we want to add a parameter, a component parameter, and this is called recipe. This is going to be of type document reference, and it's just going to store the recipe that we need to delete. And I'm going to say that it's required. Now over here, we can choose to delete this parameter recipe, and that'll work. The alternative is to just click cancel, and just like we showed the bottom sheet, we can also, under bottom sheet, dismiss it. Now all we need to do is on our home page on this delete button, we need to pass in our recipe parameter. This is just going to be the recipe that we were going to delete, this popular recipe items reference. Let's try this again. Now when I try to delete this, I can click on it. We see the bottom sheet, it's a nice height. I could really add more padding, but that's okay. And I can click cancel, and I just dismiss it. However, if I click on this and then choose to pull the trigger and click delete, we see it disappear. But this still doesn't go away. That's because we haven't dismissed it. So if we go back to delete, on this, we just want to add one more simple action to dismiss our bottom sheet. And that's it. In the next video, we're going to be adding this profile page. I'm not going to add this top part because I think it's pretty self-explanatory, and I encourage you guys to try building it out for yourself. But we will add these recipes and then a second tab for save, and add the functionality to actually be able to save a recipe.